First of all, give us your overall thoughts of the game.
Well, extremely pleased with our defensive effort, especially early in the ball game. I think momentum was, a huge factor in this ball game, being able to jump out to such a early lead, and the way the field position was. I think it was tough for them to get on track, and we just took advantage of that and had some, just kind of kept it rolling.
There's sort of a saying, let's go out, punch them in the nose, and that's sort of what you guys did today. Just, you got the turnovers early, you got points right away, and that sort of puts the team back on their haunches, doesn't it? Well,
sometimes turnovers come in bunches for you, and it did today. They had some excellent players in the skill position area. We thought there was a size advantage in the line that if we could be physical, we could have some good things happen for us. So again, those Noah, Tim, and then the fumble. I think I don't remember the exact orders of it, and then the block punt. All those things just kind of steamrolled for us.
Individually, Jaron Borland was part of that block punt and the fumble recovery. It's not very often you got one guy scoring on special teams and defense. What did you just think of his effort today?
Well, it was great effort, especially to block the punt. I believe he blocked it and took it in. So anytime someone does that, that's a huge play from that type of distance. Jaron's a fine athlete. He's worked extremely hard this year, and doesn't say a whole lot, but he's been a hard worker, and he's really worked at transforming himself, making the transition to linebacker, and it's good to see those good things happen. I think Ryan Cortez had the hit on the play, and Jaron showed his athleticism and speed to take it in on both those occasions.
You were a little deeper today at linebacker than you've been in a while, and that kind of helped too.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, Arnie, it's been good to have Greg Arnold, Kyle Wismer's back, who are moving around pretty well, and which was a few weeks ago a position of high concern because of depth, has now become one that does have some, and some confidence is growing at that position.
I know Matt Blanchard was excited to be able to get the chance after breaking his thumb last year. I was sort of worried that he might, be a little too excited, but he had a typical Matt Blanchard kind of game, very efficient again.
Yeah, he was very efficient. Again, some of that short field probably modified the game plan early as far as just, calls there, but, again, Matt played, as you said, extremely well, 12 for 18, and probably a couple of those were thrown away, and I think there were one or two drops in there. So again, he's doing what he needs to be doing for us.
You, 3 games left in the season. You said you guys have to, get turnovers. Secondary has to come through. Boy, they really have late in the season. Noah, Tim, and Ryan Weichman have really done the job, and Noah gets the interception. But what is it about your team that they just turn it on late in the season as far as takeaways are concerned?
Well, hopefully it's one of those things with confidence and being able to see things. I guess the other one I forgot was the play by Greg. I think it was Greg Arnold with the interception, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On the screenplay, it was really and that's the type of when you mentioned that, the first thing that came to mind was that Greg is such an intelligent player besides being a very talented player. So when he sees things and he studies film extremely well, sees things, and to make a play like that early in the ball game, and hopefully we can continue to create turnovers here as we move on.
You got to play everybody today. Second half came out. I think first unit played first possession. Then you got, especially at skill positions, different players in. You can't beat that when it comes to playoff time, getting a lot of people to play.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because we rotate a lot of guys on defense. It's a little bit harder to rotate linemen, obviously, and it's going to get Lee Brecky some good reps, and then 2 young running backs, and Byron Stanford, Colt Schweitzer got a chance to show what they can do. So all that, is, like you said, is a good benefit as we move forward.
One of the other benefits is that somebody on the sideline said to me, it's nice that these kids get to play. It's necessary because you may need them somewhere down the road.
Absolutely. We talk about it all the time, not just play, but the practices that we get here is an extra week of development for all our guys. And that's sometimes tough, especially when the weather changes and those things where you ask guys to continue to practice and give a look on the scout team. But we've also tried to emphasize to our players that are maybe on the scout team or didn't get a chance to dress today that this is really good fundamental work that they're getting that other schools in our conference aren't getting right now, and that can help their development as players and help our football team in the future.
Lance, it didn't affect the final score today, but 2 blocked field goals. Is that a concern moving forward?
Yeah, yes it is. That needs to be corrected. That's not acceptable. And it was 1 from each side, so obviously that's going to be on film, and people are going to take a look at that, and we work on it, and daily. There's not a day of the week that we practice that we don't work on that, and we need to get that corrected immediately.
Pleased with your offensive line play?
Yeah, for the most part, without seeing the film, there's some things you're always going to look at for corrections, and overall, just a lot of those things. I'm pleased with where we're at in that, but reserve final judgment till we watch the film.
All of a sudden, Byron's up to the number 2 spot, the past couple of weeks, and I thought he ran with more confidence today. I thought he had a pretty good ball game in the limited time he was in the second half.
Byron Stanford has continued to make progress from about towards the end of September all the way on through. His confidence has grown. He'd be the first one to tell you he reported this year in not the best of physical condition. It's his first year playing college football after some time off. He went to the University of Louisville and was just attending school, decided he wanted to play football. He wasn't quite ready for what the expectations were, but he has worked extremely hard. Nelson Edmonds has done a great job developing him, and you can see that he has a lot of ability, and he's a big body who can move the pile a little bit. So we're looking forward for his continued development.
We have to have the designated Lavelle questions. He goes over 100 touchdowns in his career, only the second back in D3 yesterday to do that. And he also sets an NCAA Division III record for most career rushing attempts. I don't know what more you can say about him, but, that's two impressive records he set today.
Yes, I wasn't aware of those, so I'm not really sure how to answer that, but he's, I think we've touched on those, what extremely talented player he is, what a fine career he's had, and we will need him to continue as we move forward. He had, I think, 2 chances maybe today in the punt return game, and we need to continue to find ways to put the ball in his hands.
Looking ahead now, you'll play Franklin next week. Gotten to see them a couple times recently. How do you like your chances going against Coach Leonard?
Oh, yeah. Mike Leonard's an outstanding football coach. Not fired up about playing teams twice in a year. I think, but it's the second time in 12 games that we're going to have to do it. There is some familiarity with them from this season, from last year, so that helps a little bit in preparation. But at the same time, they're not the same football team they were that second week of September, and you could see that they took that game with us and definitely moved forward from that game and haven't lost since, and that's a sign of a good program, an excellent coach, and I know they're going to be ready and excited to come up here.
You guys' motto is win and move on.
I think we're at home, by the way. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
So I say.
I'm sorry. You guys win and move on. I mean, that's just what you're going to talk about this week with them, right?
Have to. We talked about that. We talked before we took the field. It wasn't a 10-0 team versus a 6-4 team. It was 2, 0-0 teams. This is the second season. Records don't matter right now, and all you're worried about is winning that particular game and hopefully having a chance to advance. And because and that's what we'll have to do and approach this week.